imagine we enter by the back door, and you surely notice that they had a stick behind the door, double closing for burgling, because they must have had many thieves around. But it's the back door of the house, because the front door, you'll be able to see. So, 2 minutes ago, you were looking at the mosaic. That was the entrance of the house. And then you arrived at this middle room, what we call atrium. And if you look carefully, you maybe notice there's an opening in the ceiling. Because what they always had an inclined roof with an opening to collect raining water. So the raining water, when it comes from that high and it is dirty, it falls down and you have double opening. It's heavier. So the dirty water, heavier, goes out in the street. The other opening is a little bit higher, goes there in the water tank. And in the water tank, full of eels. Yeah, because they would eat the wheat of the water to keep the water clean. Then, around that living room, you had the bedroom, the sleeping rooms. 1, 2, 3 sleeping rooms. Here on the right is the sleeping room. And this is the reception room. I always say the office of the house, where the man was doing his transactions, where he was receiving his guests, where he was doing his business deals. And you see there is a mosaic missing. Because when they've done the excavations, they took out what they liked. So here, the house is the house of the tragic poet. The mosaic is in a museum. But the rest of the stones you see here. Then every house always had a garden with the herbs and the plants. Because you had no pharmacy. So everybody had to make their own medicaments in the house, from father to father. And that little chapel you see in the corner, that was for the household gods. Something before to eat, something to the gods, to ask their protection. The household altar, let's say, like we have Virgin Mary or Saint Antonio. They have the gods of the food and the ancestors. So it looks like a candle, but that is the altar of the family.
Buongiorno cara.
Buongiorno.
Come sei abbronzata? Dove sei stata?
Certo. We are the Let's go to the kitchen. Right. Now, in this little corner, that's the toilet. Every house had their own toilet. And where the gentleman is standing, that's the kitchen. So very handy. Keep on stirring. But the reason you have the two things together, because here is the water point. Here is the link to the septic tank. Because every house had a septic tank. Pompeii had no sewer system, but they had a septic tank. So that's why the two rooms are together. But how long do we got toilets in our houses? 100 years? Not longer than that. And now the dining room. This is a dining room. 3 clean 3 beds. 1, 2, 3. Laying on the bed, eating with your finger fork. No windows, because you painted the view you wanted to see. So you can see that you were looking maybe at mythological stories, or you were looking at a temple, because you had no windows. The light only came from the garden. On the floor, little fish. So dining room, that's why this house is not very big, because we only have found one dining room. houses sometimes have 4 dining rooms for the 4 seasons of the year. This only has 1. This house is quite interesting because they even wrote a book, The Last Days of Pompeii, Linton Weiler, 100 years ago. Hey, nice little house. First floor missing, yeah? You're the floor missing, so you say second floor. Second floor's missing. Really neat. This is just one of the houses.